Hi, my name is Mary Tennant, and I'm an actor. Not a working actor yet, but I'm working on that. But my journey is from that got inspired me was Star Trek, Starfleet Academy, which actually made me work harder. The good news is I got the spinning wheel starting going already because since I was young, I always grew up wanting to be in Star Trek, and I just love Star Trek. Um, and then the other goal I wanted to do is go to UK, be an actress, be Shakespeare, and do all that wonderful acting stuff. But I realized that one small little problem. At that time of age, I didn't have any self esteem, and I have more for that in other videos. I actually, well, have you here. I'm making this little short, vertical short. I'm using comic book style to share my story, how that happened. And it's fun. And so, so I just got off Zoom with Sage, where we are part of the Actors Lab. Yes, Actors Lab is by Tristan Sporn. I probably said his name wrong, but you probably know him on Stranger Things as number two. And I'm telling you guys, I love that community. And the thing with the community is that you can get a reader. And the community is so great. But I could share that another time. But I just realized that my goal is kind of falling in place. Because a long time ago, what I used to do, I used to draw. And I used to draw like castles. And I always dream about wearing full plate armor, and I always fantasize being like a horse and jousting. It just the Dark Ages was always my favorite, and it's still my favorite. But I do like Star Trek, which is, to be honest, I'm not kidding. Star Trek is part of it, but then Dungeon Dragons kind of helped me to break into being a paladin and stuff like that. But I drew pictures of drawing pieces of castles. And you know what? I didn't realize it then. And I look back, I'm like, my God, I manifested. And I did not know I manifested. I was trying my dreams. I actually did go to England. Oh, these wonderful people. I hope that any chance, I hope you guys see me, because it would be great. And I would love to connect to you, because I really thank you guys for really helping me. You helped me with the situation with my mom, and you let me to stay with you guys, and you guys were sweethearts. I think about you guys a lot, so thank you. So with that, I have to say the people in UK are wonderful people. They're beautiful people, and they're very helpful and nice. Well, except on one occasion when I was trying to take the trolley, the bus, or the coach, whatever you call it, and the bus was getting late. It was near Christmas time, and everybody was getting a little snippy and snappy. But yeah, I guess everybody, has some personalities to it. But oh yeah. Oh, another person, by the way, if there's a guy named Stuart, if you remember me, if you see this, I beat you square in that toy store, and I did beat you with that floor hawk. And don't you tell me I'm cheating. I remember you. I still think about you. And I would love to work with you. That'd be so fun. That is so fun. Oh my God. You guys understand? I love... Okay, I'm going to get very emotional. Okay, I'm getting emotional. And I believe this could happen. Because in acting, we all have markets. And when I was young, I was dreaming to go to UK and be an actor, but I fell up that path. I'll share that story more in the future. And so I'm looking back my life, and I see all the patterns, all the things that come all together. And I had bad things happen into me in the past. But you know what? I learned those are the moments where the gold nuggets of my life. The time when they get knocked off the horse. I swear to God, people, those are your gold nuggets. It's sometimes best to get knocked off the horse a million times. Because if you get back up and get on that horse, you will learn and you will work harder. And you can look back and go, damn, that happened to me. It makes you work harder. But, so that happened. So, recently, about 3 years ago, something happened in the family. Something dramatic happened. It was a very bad issue. Communication was cut off. And to be honest, my family, what's left of my family, well, only my brother, and I do have a biological father, but my brother kicked me out. They said, nope, get out. And the thing is, this time around, I knew if I fought back, and I fought and said, hey, I'm going to win this fight. I'm going to fight for this. I did not try to fight this fight because, oh God, he's my only brother. We grew up together. And we went through hell. And he's the only real last family member in my life. Like I said, my life is interesting. But which makes me a good actress because I had all that experience. And that's the thing I want to bring up now. Because I think I just changed my topic where I was going. But if you notice, I got gray hair. And you probably figure I'm not 16, not 20, not 30, not 40. But, you probably figure it out, right? And I'm like, you know what? It's the best time to go. I did my research and I realized that they're shooting a lot of films in UK, which is I'm not happy about it. And then I said, no, I'm going to try to get my Portugal dual citizenship, which I thought I was maybe able to do it. And that was going to be my easy way in. And I turned out to find out that my biological father was not. My biological father was born here in Massachusetts in Fall River. So I was so pissed off. I got down. That was my chance. It was the matter with my mother's side because we're Irish on that side, and none of them, we don't have any chance to get dual citizenship in Ireland. I want to be in Ireland. I love Ireland. I've been there for almost 2 months. I love Kilkenny. A shout to Kilkenny people. I love you. Because a lot of people thought I was part of Kilkenny. I think what happened, I pick up the brogue. And I can pick up the brogue if I wanted to. But if I kept on going and talk like that, I might be stuck. But I do not want to be stuck in the Irish brogue. And I'm probably killing it too. But, yeah. So I realized that was another obstacle. I'm looking for the shortcuts. Shortcuts in life. Like, oh, how do I get there? How can I make a shortcut? How can I make the opportunities? And I'm like, okay, all right. I accept it. I can't go through that door. And then like, well, I got one thing that UK wants. I'm American. I'm 50. Look right here. I talk funny. I have my own speech pattern. That's why I think Star Trek, Starfleet Academy made me feel like I could really go drive. I've been going that path, but when I saw Star Trek, Starfleet Academy, and when I saw Holly Hunter, I'm like, is my ears deceiving me? I'm like, oh, if she can do that, I can do that. And before that actually happened, I started having a connection with one UK casting director. And I'm building my network connection perfectly for UK because I really feel like that's where I belong. I belong in that market or Los Angeles. Why I say Los Angeles? Because Los Angeles is where comedy is. It's such as I think belong in Toronto. You go, Mary, you're near New York. Yeah, I'm near New York, but the thing is, with New York, that's for like crime shows, and I come off quirky, and that I can't help being quirky. That's who I am. So I'm more like the type of person you probably will see like that, that quirky character in a horror movie, and you go, oh, I love this character. Oh, this character. Oh, they just got killed off. So I wouldn't mind being those type of characters where you fall in love and get killed. Like what Stephen King does in his books. But this channel is going to be about me sharing my journey about being a actress. A middle-aged actress. But that's not going to stop me. I look at my past. I was held back. I was living with my mom, was stuck. I felt like I was a bird stuck in the cage and trying to, evolve my whole life around her. And then I realized, you know what? I can't go after my dream. So I got into Dungeons and Dragons. But when she gone to heaven, that's when I'm like, oh, I'm ready to go. And then I tried to go into acting at the time. I was more focused on learning it. I knew that I had to get headshots. I knew I had to do the business stuff. And I did have Bob Fraser, the guy, one of the producers from Love Boat, and he was in Benson. Unfortunately, he died from brain cancer on his head. He was a very nice guy, and I miss him. But I always think about him. But there was a time in acting where we had VHSs, and you have to put the resumes in the envelope, and you have to put it in there and send it out. I remember this one time when I was in New York City. And the reason I went to England and Ireland and going to New York City, I tried to get away from my mom. And that is another story. This is why I think my mom was like my husband. Trust me, in the future, you're going to learn when I do get to that part of my life I share. So I remember my first time. So I got this headshot done. That was really good looking, right? And I had like my hair is all. I got a hairdresser to cut my hair all nice and curly, and I had all this makeup on. And I remember thinking at the time, going, "That doesn't really look like me." And I wish I had that picture still. I threw it away. Yeah, it wasn't me. So then I go, you know what? I need to get an agent. So when they had backstage with the book. So when I was in New York, what I used to do is I used to put them in the envelopes. And I used the photocopy machine, and my God, it was terrible. It was like black and white, dark, and and I had my own headshot, my resume. And, oh God, I didn't like that. But the thing about New York City, I was able to get some training in New York City. I forgot where it was. It was in a church. And I loved it. Oh my God, I loved it. And oh my God. So also, I even worked for a framing company. And I didn't like it because there's two reasons why. Because I used to work for a factory, and I was into safety. And so they wanted me to use the saw, and the saw did not have no safety on it, and I didn't like it. And then they're like, Mary, can you, there's something behind that refrigerator. Like, can you take care of it? I'm like, sure. So I pull off the refrigerator out. Next thing I know, I don't know if I should tell this story. Okay. This is about New York four-legged friends stuff. If you don't want to hear about this, keep your ears up, okay? Or you can fast forward it. Trust me. That I ended up having to. Oh my God! There was a bunch of baby mice, and the mother. And I ended up taking I was like, it's you or me. I need this job. So I get a poster board thing and I start and killing them and taking the shovel and throwing them out. And then my little mind is like, oh, how many did you kill? And then I'm thinking Dungeons and Dragons. How many experience points did you get for killing those? I know that's bad, but like I said, I did that. And then I was so fucking pissed off. Sorry my language. And I just like I walked away. I walked out, all right? And then I gone out to the park and I went, oh my God. I'm like, did I do what I just did? I'm like, oh my God, it's so sick. This is so bad. I felt so pathetic, awful. And then I go lay on the bench in the park. I'm like, oh God. And the police officer goes along, excuse me, ma'am. No laying on the bench. So if you do go to New York, you cannot lay on the bench, but you can lay on the grass. That's all I know. And I thought about this. I'm like, I can't do that. And then I ended up going back, quitting, and I fucked up, guys. I screwed up. Because I know what I did? I delivered poster stuff for, get this, CBS. I went to those buildings. I had the door of opportunity right there, and I blew it. But the thing is, when I think about it, I accept it because if I took the opportunity, I probably blew it up anyways. I'd probably make it more worse. And I'd be like, oh, and I didn't have the money, didn't have the confidence, I didn't have any, the thought process. I didn't know nobody. I was poor and I didn't know anything. I was young and stupid. There you go. I was stupid. And so, but yeah, I miss New York. And New York was one of my other places I want to live. And as an actor at that age and still today, I still want to go live. I mean, I don't know about Los Angeles now because it's not the same anymore. But out in Hollywood, I was more afraid of earthquakes. And then when I started to get into acting, I'm like, wait a minute, I'm scared of success. What happens if it really goes? How am I going to do this? So my set was not at that time. And then I forgot what happened. I went back home or something. I ended up going back home because my mom was like, oh, she said, oh, you're so glad. And she was pissed off I was gone. And then my whole family was like, well, you got to stay with your mother. You have to take care of your mom. And I got stuck living with my mom again. And then I really don't remember. Well, anyways, I remember I went back into acting again. And was down in Florida. And I was doing Shakespeare. I was doing theater. I crossed gender. I sang on the stage. I still don't believe I sang on the stage. But it was fun. And there was this one time I invited some people come and see me. And there was 3 different characters. And I was at a concert. And I said, did you notice? Did you see me? And they're like, I didn't recognize you. And to that day, I'm like, okay, I guess I can act. So that happened. And then, like I said, there's a bunch of obstacles in our lives. And then I was acting, went back to New England. I needed to get help from my brother. And my brother said to me, he said, you can stay in my house, but there's two rules. No acting and no Jesus. And I'm like, oh, I can't have two. I can't have both. So I ended up studying Jesus alone. Did I listen to my brother? I mean, when you're an actor, you're like, no. So no, I did not listen to my brother. He finds out, he kicked me out of the house. And I ended up living down in Rhode Island with some Adam Carborn and the gang, the Dick Star. And then my film family. Oh, there's another story with that story. So I worked with Adam a lot. I always joked around and said, "This is not my resume. My resume has Adam Carborn's name on it, and he's more. This is more his resume. I'm just taking a ride on his work." So what was I saying? Oh, don't burn your bridges, because what happened was when I was down in Florida. And don't listen to other people. Other people tell you. No, don't listen to other people's opinions, because sometimes their opinions is wrong. So when I was down in Florida, this one casting director goes, "Oh, their work is awful. Don't work with them no more." And then I took that as a word and I posted on Facebook, "Oh, I don't want to work with this guy." Ah! And then the next thing I know, these guys said, "We don't want you to work. You're never going to be in my film. Never." Okay? Okay. I messed up on that. I was almost like a celebrity doing bad, negative talk, bad mouthing, and that's if that was a real film production, real high profile, if I was a really good working actress, I probably just destroyed my career right there. As a matter of fact, I thought, I'm never working with those guys again. Right, Michael? Poor Paul. That was a good movie I was in. Oh, did I say I was in? So how did I fix this? Well, the thing was, I loved Adam and his family, his group of family. I love these guys. And so I heard that his father died. And I liked his father. And I was so upset. And I felt bad for his mother. And yeah, Anna, I mentioned you. And so I showed up and talked to him, because it's been a while since I seen them. And then I guess 2-3 years later, they contact me and say, "Hey, Mary, I'm making a movie. You want to be in this film for us? It's a small scene." And I'm like, "Sure." And then at that time, I was like, "Okay, I don't need to do acting. I can work with Adam." They would just say, "Hey, we got a part for you." And so I was doing that. And that's when I mentioned about the time where my brother pushed me out of the family. That's where I was sitting there. I have a great security job. I work at the courthouse, second shift. That's another story how I found that job. And I have the Prius where I want, and that is another beautiful story that my great aunt did for me. Her timing was perfect. And I have a condo. I live by myself. I pay my bills. I have my own car, and I have a great job. I'm sitting there at home thinking, I got everything I need. I have everything I need. And so I'm sitting there reading David A.R. Wright's book about film in Hollywood. I forget the name. I'm probably gonna put a picture like somewhere on this video, and probably put a link below, I guess. And I was reading this book, and I'm like, and I'm like going, okay, God. It was about business. That's what it was about. And I'm like, okay, all right, God. This is what you want me to do. And then I go on Facebook, and next thing I know, I see a Wendy Allen White. And I'm like, And then I see stuff on YouTube by her. I'm like, maybe I kind of should follow up with this lady. And I joined the talent manager for groups. I think that's very good. If you're into acting, you want to know about the business, I recommend you join that as a Facebook group. And then I joined the business thing, and I finally learned about the business part, the main part, as Bob Fraser would say, acting business. There's the acting and there's the business. I was missing the business part. And then I eventually learned about how to get better at my acting. And at that time, I'm still struggling with memorization and my speech and my self confidence is not that great. But it's just, I was getting a little better. And then I'm like getting auditions and I'm struggling with memorization. I'm like, oh my. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm going to find a way to improve my memorization. And that's when I found Jim Quick. So Jim Quick, I took up his courses, and that made me think different how to memorize, and that helped me. And for that, since that day one, I'm like always trying to improve my memorization. And I will show you more of those people who I learned from, and help you with your journey to get better improvisation. Improvisation. Did I just say that? I'm going to edit this. No, I'm not. I'm going to keep it. Oh my God. Memorization. So I'm able to memorize real fast. And I used to be, my speech used to be bad. I got to a point where my other acting class teacher I took was Brad Heller. And he said one day, well, Mary, you got to speak much better, you know. And then I'm like, then I'm going, kidding me. This speech. I hate this. I hate acting. I have to work on my speech. I hate it. And I still hate it. Okay? I really hate it because I came a long ways. My doctor, when I was born, said, oh, she would never be able to talk. But then I'm like, you know what? I really want to be an actress, and I have to work harder. And then I'm still thinking, oh, I'm not going to be good enough. I'm not going to be good enough because I don't sound very clear. I don't sound so American. I don't feel like I'm going to get it. I can't do some British art. I could do some British accents if you like me too. You want some tea? But I'm not doing good right now because I'm killing it. It's not so good. I could do it, but I just need to focus on it and work on it. And I probably get myself there because, like I said, in my past, when I was born, the doctor said she would never be able to speak clearly. But here I am talking on YouTube. Go figure. And as I was learning to memorize fast, I'm like, oh my God, all this stuff I'm learning. I know all this stuff. They're like, I can't tell other actors how to memorize. I'm going to keep it to myself. I can't tell the competition how to memorize fast because I would never get ahead. And then I start realizing like, oh. And I'm just, I have to show other people. And then I tried to do that on YouTube, and I failed. And now it's getting really better. I'm speaking more clearly. I can memorize real fast. I'm working to go into a casting director, and I realize that, hey, yeah, they're looking for American actors and over in England and Ireland. They're like, I've been writing to casting directors and sending my stuff to UK. Like, I can do it. And recently I'm like, no, I don't know about this. This might not be a good idea because I can't get my Europe, I can't get the dual citizenship. But when I saw Star Trek Starfleet Academy, I don't know why people bashing that. So when I heard Holly Hunter, I'm like, oh my God, I could do this. The reason I'm so excited about Star Trek Starfleet Academy, I don't care what people say. People say, it's not doing so good, the reviews, and everybody hates it. But here's the thing I love about Star Trek Starfleet Academy that people don't know about. Yes, it's 100 years ahead, okay? It's ahead, and it's a different group of people, all right? And we don't have Star Trek, Next Generation. We have all these people, they're all getting older. It's hard to continue a story when they're like, okay, we're done with Star Trek, okay? Or Or unless what people want. You want AI or animation? But that stage is done. See, this is the beautiful thing about Star Trek versus Star Wars. Star Wars should have stayed on the big screen. And I think George Lucas knew that. And Disney talked him into it. And they, you know the story. But Star Trek, I knew, is a long term. It's just going to keep on going. Because, think about it. You got time in space. You got all the explorations, great stories. And to be honest, when I was watching Star Trek Picard, I'm not going to watch the last episode. I refuse to watch it because in my little mind, I know what's happening and I know Q died. Oh my God, Q's dying. And for some reason, in my little head, I'm like, I can't watch the last episode of Star Trek, of Picard. Because if I watch the end, that would be the end of Star Trek Next Generation. See? There's a choice right there. I know if I sit there and watch the last episode of Star Trek Picard, no, that is the last episode of the Star Trek Next Generation, then the book is done and it's closed. I don't want my book to be closed. So in my imagination, I know it's still going, not by everybody here, but in my mind. So my opinion, Star Trek Generation is still going. Might not be in the books, not be in the movies or TV shows, but it's still here with me. That's what I believe in. But with Star Trek Starfleet Academy, that is 100 years in the future. And it's like when I first time seen Star Trek, I remember going, oh my God, what's the blue skin guy? I remember, okay, I love Star Trek. I don't remember the races, species. I don't consider myself a specialist. I grew up on it. I love Star Trek. I don't have franchise merchandise stuff because my mom threw all my artwork stuff away, and I lived to a point where I'm not going to own nothing. And I want to be an action figure in Star Trek. So I remember watching Star Trek, and it just blew me off. Okay, so first it came out, it was new stuff on TV. We have Vulcans, Romulans, and Klingons, and spaceships, and we got Pike when it first came out, and these guys with big brains who talk through the brain, and it's like, whoa, what's this? And then the Next Generation came on. I'm like, whoa, the guys are wearing skirts. And William Shatner had to wear glasses. So I'm looking at my generation, my first time I saw Star Trek, okay, when it first came out. Okay, then when Star Trek Next Generation came out, when the saucer separated from the Enterprise, I was like, whoa, who would have thought of that? That's mind-blowing. And wormholes, like, whoa. And I'm telling you, the stories are great. The characters are great. Character-driven stories. And they have great support characters. I love Barclay because Barclay's funny. I love Q. And I love Guinan. The list goes on. And I was like, whoa. Then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Let's step back, okay? So we got the people today are complaining about Star Trek Starfleet, how bad it is and stuff like that. But they forget that there's this new generation of people who don't know about Star Trek. Or maybe they know about Star Trek. And they're sitting there, oh, wow. So, yeah, maybe it's a little off. But wait a minute. Let's just stop and think about this. They put it 100 years ahead. What does that do? It's a whole new start. Star Trek. But you kids, we still have the old stuff. Okay, so we got two different groups of people. We love the old stuff, and we love the new. We don't like this. So give Star Trek Starfleet Academy a try. Because for me, I was like, oh, this is gonna suck. And I watched it. I was like, oh my god, I was blown away. Then I thought about it. I said, wow, this kind of reminds me. I feel like a little kid again when I first saw Star Trek. And because Star Trek is a track. Get it? Star Trek. They can go forever with more stories. So give it a chance. Now, because Star Trek is long running, I can share you the story about a game, online role-playing game. So if you're those people who go, oh, I don't like the new Star Trek. I don't like what's going on. Blah, 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 blah. I'm just like, really, if you don't like it, is anybody holding a phaser to your head and say, you can't watch it? Then shut it off. Or better off, if you don't like what you're seeing, and stop nagging on YouTube or Instagram, whatever, because I'm like, oh, more nagging stuff. I can talk about the stuff I don't like. It can get all these views and stuff like that. Well, I can give you guys a hint. If you're bashing Star Wars, Disney, stuff like that, and I'm ready to Coca-Cola, this is going to be sponsored by Coca-Cola. What happens in 10, 15 years? You think your content might still be making money off in the future? You think, oh, I'm going to sit here and bash and put all this negative about against Disney and Star Wars and Paramount and CBS and all these big network companies, all these other stuff? There's going to be a time you're going to run out of, you're going to hit a wall. And maybe one day you're going to wake up and say, hey, maybe you're my age. And you go, hey, you know what? Oh, no, when you become my age, or if you're past my age, but you go, you know what? I want to be an actor. That's how you go, you go out and try to be an actor. You go out and casting directors go, oh, it's him. But hey, let's give him a chance. So they give you a chance. You're perfect. I mean, you're perfect for the role. I mean, you're so perfect. You're like, the casting director loves you. And I'll tell you, let's just pretend the casting director loves you. Every time you audition, they go, yes, this is the person. This is the person. And let's say for some reason you get the call back. And then they say, oh, we want you to do the chemistry read. But before you're ready to do the customary read, your agent calls up and say, I'm sorry, they don't want to work with you. And you're like, why is that? Well, they found you on YouTube, smashing Doctor Who, Harry Potter, X-Men, Marvel Comics, and you were saying, oh, there's bad things on there. And they just don't want to work with you because they're afraid you're going to say bad stuff about their product. You're like, okay, no problem. I'm going to go work for Coca-Cola. And so you go for work for Coca-Cola. And you go. And it's like, okay. And they say let's say you pay all your credit cards. You got perfect. Let's say you got 800 plus credit card score, okay? So you go and you apply for Coca-Cola. And they have this job that you'd be perfect for, the social media, and I want to pay you a lot of money. Yeah, I'm not going to pay a lot of money for doing this. Yes. And then you apply, they do a background check, and you call up, and they come in for an interview. And they sit down and interview, and then they go, you know what? We decided we're not going to work with you. And you're like, why? I'm perfect for this job. I could save Coca-Cola. I can make Coca-Cola better than Pepsi. Nothing against Pepsi. But, and they go, no. We've seen you our social media on YouTube. You were bashing Disney, ABC, and Paramount. And and you'd be seeing it, oh, yeah, okay. All right. I know. Okay, no problem. I can find another job. And then you go, you know what? Oh, look at this. I'm going to work for McDonald's. So you go work for McDonald's, and let's say you start from you apply for the you apply for the low job, and then you're working. Yeah, I finally got a job. Yep, here I am flipping hamburgers. Yay! Flipping hamburgers, and then next day you get a phone call. Bling, bling. Hello, yeah. What do you mean? No, what do you mean? What? I'm fired? Fired from McDonald's? Why? Oh, because my social media. And then you're like, okay, maybe if I make my own marketing business. So you make your own marketing business. Okay, all right, I can do this. All right, now I gotta get some customers. You go, hey, I want to be marketing for you. And so you come up to me, you say, hey, Mary, I want you to market for me. And I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. Oh, you're that guy. You're the guy who went on blasting Disney, Netflix, blasting ABC and Paramount, Star Trek, all those stuff. No. And then you'll be sitting there going, oh, I can't find a job. You look past 20 years, go, maybe I shouldn't have done what I did. Because know why? Just if you're looking 10 years ahead? No. So, with that, I'm tired. This gone on longer than I wanted. I guess I can talk forever. But this is me, Mary Tennant, an old person with gray hair, an actress who wants to go work in UK. And I should continue that story. But right now, I guess my lower back is hurting. And so I thank you for watching. Thank you very much. Thank you.